I don't want a nice brand new place unless I can get it for under, market value.
Right.
I'm definitely interested in trying to. I mean, I got to do something because I'm going to retire here in about 10 years.
Okay.
So, I gotta bust the move.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you said it cut out for a little bit. You said retiring. Was it 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years, or if I can sooner.
Okay. And so, okay. And what type of work are you in, Mark, if you don't mind me asking?
I work for LA County.
Okay. LA County. And so looking for a potential for, you're looking for a great opportunity. And then when you said questions about tax liens, what type of questions or were you trying to get a little more information on tax liens?
Yeah, tax liens and what is involved in it. I mean, and how risky it is, and why are they? Because if I'm going to get into a place, I better know what I'm getting into before I get into it. I mean,
right.
A lot of people just look at it as a house. I got a house, and then I've been working with the district now for 15 years.
Right.
So, and I want to retire with 25 years, which gives me a good pension, and then I get a good amount when it comes to I'm putting money away in a 401k. It's a 457 is what it is.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to get a good paycheck for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
And that's where that's why I want to put it in now so that when I become an old man,
right.
my kids don't have to take care of me.
Oh, that's the plan. So, definitely. That's awesome. And do you currently own a property right now?
No, I don't. I'm a first-time owner.
First-time buyer.
Vet.
Okay.
And
you said you're a vet?
But you know what? Yeah, but I don't want to use. I went through a company called United Veterans United Home Loans.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? My real estate agent says that they're not going to let me have the unit that I want or the place that I want. So
right.
She says a conventional loan is the best.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the conventional.
Right.
And I'm working with my credit union because they're giving me a better deal than the bank just did.
Nice.
So.
Well, that's good that you're looking into that, and that's good that you're looking into the conventional. First of all, thank you for your service. Which branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Army, awesome. And how long were you in the Army?
I was in there for 2 years.
Okay. Well, thank you for your service. My dad's retired Navy, 21 years in the Navy. So I grew up moving every 3 years, man. So thank you. I do appreciate that.
Everybody in the Army wish they were in the Navy. So.
Well, I hear that. I got a few past Army clients. It's interesting to say. My dad's. So I'm second generation into real estate. My dad's actually his brokerage is called Veteran Home Services, and their focus is to serving vets, and they still help everybody out. But he's got a passion, especially for first time buyers and veterans and anybody who's served. So it's now it's tough, as you know, with the high cost of living out here in Ventura County. And so you work for LA County. Where are you looking? Where are you hoping to find your property?
Well, my parents live in Simi Valley.
Okay.
So I'm going to be close to them.
Nice. Parents
so
live.
I work in Carson.
But
so I'll just get me one of those plug-in hybrids, and I should be all right.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, Simi. I manage the Century 21 Everest office out of the, it's actually we call it the Wood Ranch location, but are you pretty familiar with Simi off of Madera Road, Olson, that area there?
Yeah, exactly. My parents have lived in Simi for 46 years.
Wow.
This year.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to high school out there.
Okay.
So I basically was raised out there. Moved out there when I was 14. So I call it home.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, my dad retired out of Camarillo, so I live in Camarillo, but have been managing this office for the last 4 years, and I'm sure you've seen our signs out. Actually, we used to be Troop. So if you were here at that time, do you remember Troop Real Estate?
Say that again?
Troop Real Estate, TROOP.
Oh, Troop. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Troop.
Yeah, so Century 21 Everest actually purchased Troop, and so we've been C21 Everest since then. But it actually gives us quite a bit of extra resources, and the biggest thing and the reason why I wanted to reach out to you, we do come up across opportunities sometimes before they hit the market, so that's why I was trying to get an idea what you're looking for. But it sounds like you're going the right route. You said you still need to be qualified, right? You're looking to get the financing out there.
Exactly. In fact, I'm getting the loan process going. I just got me and my wife were talking about that earlier. We got because I was going to do this all by myself. My wife is semi-retired.
Awesome.
So I have no income with her, but we have our money together.
Right.
Where we need that. It's all about capital.
Yep.
So the more we have, the better we're looking at. Plus, we want to put something down.
Right.
Even though they offered me 100% financing, I want to put something down to keep that monthly payment down.
Yep.
So if I possibly can.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I've been paying rent my whole life, and it's like I'm done. I can make a lower payment, and it'll be mine.
Right.
And,
And where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you trying to keep that payment roughly? Your monthly payment?
Under 2,000.
Okay, so under 2K, under 2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And do you know ballpark how much money you're going to try to put down, ideally?
Well, anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000, because I can pull 10% out of my 457.
Okay. And yeah, so 5 to 10K, roughly try to keep your payment around 2,000. How big of a place do you need?
Not big. I'm looking just for a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. In a townhome setting. Only because of the fact that me and my wife would rather pay an HOA to maintain. They also have earthquake insurance, fire insurance.
Right.
They maintain the facility. They have to have a swimming pool, security. There's a lot that goes through there that a lot of people don't like. They want their own place, but we've lived in apartments our whole life. So,
right.
And then we're gonna be old people, so to be in a place all by ourselves,
right?
I don't know. I gotta think about security.
Yeah, right. We actually helped some clients that ironically we were looking almost 2-3 years ago. I want to say my wife's also in the business, and she was showing them property then in and out of escrow 3 different times. We even looked at mobile homes and senior communities and different avenues just to see what we can work. Because as I'm sure you're finding out and seeing, to try to keep it at about 2,000 a month with roughly 5 to 10K down, it's challenging, to try to get a payment at that with that. There are some down payment assistance programs out there. Have you heard about any of those yet?
No. I've been talking with a builder called Land and Sea.
Okay.
And they have a place that is going up out in Cheney at the very west end. And I've been talking with one of their agents over there, and we've been going back and forth on it, which I really like, but my wife don't like it because it's at the very west end of Cheney. Okay. So she wants to be at the east end. So I don't know. But, that they offer me a good price. I told them what I want and
right.
how much I want to pay.
Right.
So,
right.
They're still building.
Okay. Well, so, if I hear about any opportunities on the east side, and how far east are you hoping to be, or is your wife hoping to be, I should say? Where would she ideally like to be?
Cheney Valley is 6 miles long.
Right.
Okay. It only has 5 off-ramps.
Right.
All right. So I'm, as close to the east side as I can get.
Right. But at the right price, right? Right. At the right price. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what they do.
Right. Well, so I shared with you a little bit about my dad and myself. So I've been doing this for about 15 years now, and we teach first-time home buyer workshops and classes. So I don't want to step on any toes. It sounds like you got somebody that you've at least started talking to. Are you under buyer broker contract with that agent?
No.
Okay.
She goes to my church.
Okay.
And basically, I trust her.
Right. Well, that's key.
That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Best thing, and that's actually what we teach in the class. First and foremost, you have to trust your gut instinct and trust that whoever you're working with is looking out for your best interests. So number one priority, find the right real estate agent and the right loan officer that you trust,
right.
that you know that they know their job. You can pull them up and check them out on Zillow and other sites out there to see how many transactions they've done. Just to know that you're working with somebody who's pretty busy on a regular basis. Otherwise, if you see they've only done one in the last year or last couple years, you got to be a little leery, even if you like them, because there's a lot. The market is constantly getting more and more dynamic. It is becoming more of a buyer's market, but in certain areas it's
right.
not. I mean, I can sit right now, Thousand Oaks average days on market is roughly about 109 days on market in TO, Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park. But most of those homes that are sitting for a long period are getting closer to the million range, right? Then you get into CMEs. You're probably looking in the 60s right now. I haven't pulled it up recently, but I would say about 60 days on market is your average. Go out to Oxnard in 93035, and I just did a listing presentation there, and they went from roughly about, I think it was 2 to 3 months inventory at the beginning of the year. They're at 7 months inventory right now. It's more than doubled, getting close to tripled in terms of the amount of inventory, and there's still a lot of turnover in Oxnard. So when you know these specific areas, you can find out, okay, where do I got a little bit more negotiating power and opportunity, So we teach the first-time homebuyer workshop. So if you're interested in that, I'd be, more than happy to reach out to you, let you know when we have our next one, or we could even do a one-on-one with you and your wife and share it with you. No commitment on this part, just strictly to educate. And I wouldn't want to step, especially you go to church with this agent. I don't want to step on any toes. So I'm just going to put it out there. And if it is something that I can help, especially you've served, and if there's anything I can share with you that helps you with the process, that's the ultimate goal. So
right.
and you never know. There may be something that comes up from either myself or one of the agents in my office. I also have a team of agents that work with me directly, and we're constantly outdoor knocking out there, just finding opportunities before they come up. And sometimes, for the good opportunities, you have to know, kind of have to have something on the inside sometimes. If you're trying to move into a good situation, well, you start going the foreclosure route, and I'm not sure how much your agent has she spoken to you about that much.
Well, what she told me. This is what she told me. That a lot of foreclosures are what are called investment properties.
Right.
And banks want, because they don't want you to borrow money. Although that's how it used to be in the old days. Nowadays, that they can get, they can just put it on the market like anybody else, and they can work it, which is fine. But in cases like that, they want somebody to come in with a cash deal.
Right.
So that's where you get your deal.
Yep.
So if I walked over there and said, this is what I got, this is what I can get, right, going through a private lender, right, then I might be able to pull something off. But she said basically we want to go with something that somebody's trying to, like, somebody's moving out of town, or somebody's got a quick sale. They call it a short sale. These are the ones that you might be interested in going in and try to see what they're at, why they're moving, and what you can do to come in to make it better. Or a lot of times they're actually well done. They put in all this money, and now they got to go, and so they got to sell it as quick as possible. So being at the right place at the right time, and knowing the right people, and it's all timing. And I'm telling you, timing is everything.
It is.
So
yeah, so a lot of what she shared with you is sound advice. So that very accurate in terms of it. And just to put it in perspective, right now, out of the total market, in terms of everything that's up for sale, less than 5% is going to be a distressed situation, meaning like a foreclosure type property, even a short sale. Where the NODs are filed, and we're starting to see more of those come up. Notice of defaults that says somebody's behind on their payments, and you may be able to get a short sale type opportunity. But short sales, we used to joke and call them long sales because none of them are short. I had one took over a year before we successfully closed it. So, because you're dealing with the bank, you're dealing with the negotiator, and somebody who is settling, they're basically selling it for less than what the market value is. So with so foreclosures, it's great to see those, and for the most part, you do have to be cash, but at the same time, they do have certain options where you can finance it, but in reality, the people who are looking at these and who are successful do typically have a lot of cash. And they're looking for this is what they do for a living. That's all they do is watch the market and watch and see what foreclosures are coming in. They're buying that. That's where they spend all their time. So it is tough to compete with that, being your conventional buyer, conventional first-time buyer. So what you want to do is what she's saying, and that's getting your ducks in a row, right? So you're getting your financing figured out. You know exactly what you feel comfortable. You know what programs are out there. So you do the work up front, and the more that you do it up front and set up and plan, and even though it may not be here today, it may be here 6 months or a year from now or 2 years from now. So one of the things.
You got to look at it
go ahead.
too, where I'm trying to. Right now I'm in a lease.
Okay.
So I can't do nothing until April.
Okay.
So that's why I need to get this done. I need to get approved and qualified, and then when that happens, we're going to start looking.
Right. So lease until April, and that's another thing as well. I had another client who one of my best purchases, I guess, for a buyer in Camarillo was at $465,000. They had 2 more years remaining on their lease. And I gave them some advice on how to get out of that. So there's other options out there.
Well, 2 years on a lease. I mean, who rents a place for more than a year? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it would only be I would never lock myself into a place for more than a year.
Right.
And like. Unbelievable. I know that I can get out of my lease if something happens to my wife or me. But, the fact is that these are marks that are against your credit. And I have excellent credit.
Good.
And I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize that.
Right.
Especially when I'm going through a lender who's going to hard, check my credit. So it's going to be a hard, I forgot what they call it, but
hard pull.
When they go there,
it's a hard, hard pull on the credit. Absolutely, no. Believe me, I'm not even recommended to do anything that's gonna jeopardize that.
I like my property manager. I don't know my owner like I did in the last place I was at. She was gonna sell me that place, but we didn't like the HOA.
Right.
And but you know what? That's why I'm trying to find something that is going to be something that we can live with, because it'll probably be the last place we live.
Right.
So.
Well, it is doable. No, it's doable out there. And I had another client actually who bought an Oxnard using the down payment assistance program, had $5,000 out of pocket is what they used as their down payment. The program, just so you know, is called CalHFA, California HFA, and they do a conventional version of it and they do an FHA version of it. If you make less than, I believe, so it's moderate income and below. So moderate income, they increase the limits. It used to be at 120,000 combined. Now it's up to, I want to say about 170. I know it's under 180,000, which a lot of people can take advantage of this program. But basically, 5,000 out of pocket. His HOA was really high. He bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in North Oxnard. So they purchased at $333,000, $5,000 out of pocket. Their total payment, including a $400 a month HOA, was $2,600 a month. So it's a little bit higher than what you're looking for, but I know it's doable,
Sure.
and I know it's out there. And that was a single-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo, had a 2-car garage that was right next to it. They fixed it, sold it less than 2 years later. We just sold it we got $405,000. The HOA went up from $400 to $450. They were getting tired of paying that high HOA. But with less than $5,000 out of pocket, they walked away with $50,000. So after commissions, after all cost expenses, made $50K. With that $50,000, they just bought in Camarillo for $600,000. His income had increased, so now he moved into a new place.
You're giving me information on flipping homes. I'm not going to flip it.
No.
I don't care. I really don't care about what kind of value that I'm going to get after it. I'm sure it's going to go up. I get an area report on a zip code every 2 months.
Right.
And that's wonderful. But the fact of the matter is, that's for people that want to invest in that. I need a place to live.
Right.
All right. I'm not interested in, because we hate to move.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I hate moving.
Oh, it's horrible.
And once I move,
right.
I'm done.
Right.
All right. But I'm sorry I got to cut you off, but I'm on the road and I got to get home. There's been a fire in the Sepulveda Pass.
Oh no.
And I got to get around this thing. And so what website was it that I checked out?
No, it's VenturaCountyShortSales.com.
Okay. VenturaCountyShortSales.com and Century 21. Your name is?
Right. My name's Brandon Ramey, and I'll text you my info. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brandon. I really appreciate you reaching out.
Not a problem. Thank you, Mark. I wish you all the best, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Right,
take care. Bye.
That was a long ass conversation.
It was, especially for as heated as this guy was going to get.